was given Roman city status in 89 BC, but really began to thrive in the 15th century when wealthy Venetian families began to build their villas and estates here, many of which are still standing. The city is often compared to Venice because of the channeled streams of the Sile and Botaniga rivers, which surround and wind through the town. The Sile River acts as a moat to the enormous walls that stretch over 3 miles to encircle the entire community. Obviously built as a defense mechanism, Fra Giocondo, a Veronese engineer, created a hydraulic system in the walls which could isolate the city by flooding the surrounding countryside using the river. In fact, it's recommended you drive along the outside of the fortified city to get a feel for the town and admire the walls themselves. The walls took 7 years to build and were completed in 1520. Unfortunately, the walls and much of the city sustained heavy damage during the bombings of World War II. Fortunately, the town's mayor sought to restore them and much of the city's architecture using their original materials. Today, you can walk along the top of the tree-lined walls or enjoy the parks that surround it, filled with ducks and even goats. To enter the city, you'll have to go through one of her 3 gates, the most imposing of which is this one, the Porta di San Tommaso, or St. Thomas's Gate, which used to have a curfew of 10 p.m., locking everyone in or out of the city. Fortunately, you don't have to worry about that anymore. Built in 1518 entirely in Istrian white marble, it opens to the north side of the city. Created in Renaissance style, it has 6 columns, giving it the appearance of a classical triumphal arch. Standing over the main arch is the Lion of St. Mark, the symbol of the then-ruling Venetian family. And it is, of course, the gateway into the heart of the city. One of the first stops you should make in the city is here to the bulky Dominican Church of San Nicolo. Nestled into the 16th century walls, the church is not only a landmark, but a keeper of a very important first in art history. The church has an impressive Gothic structure with an ornate vaulted ceiling. The walls are covered with frescoes dating back to as early as 1352. But San Nicolo's fame is all due to a painting on the chapter house wall that has the first ever depiction of a subject wearing eyeglasses. Once you've left the church and you actually start walking around the city, one of the first things that you'll notice is that everywhere you turn, there's water, and how much that water is incorporated into daily life here. The rivers literally run under houses and shops all throughout the city and are put to work by many of the city's famous old mill wheels, 2 of which are set into the sides of a charming house off the Portico Rinaldi. The other lies in Vicolo Molineto, opposite the very unique fish market. The fish market dates back to medieval times and is actually an island in the middle of the Sile River, allowing the remains of the day's trading to be flushed away. Many patrons walk through the fish market to admire the old houses surrounding the island and to feed the ducks and fish that fill these waters. But another reason that patrons come to this area is an attraction which lies right next door. The art exhibition gallery sits discreetly in the center of Treviso on the banks of the Sile River overlooking the fish market and is privately owned by the Casamarca Foundation. The aim of the foundation is to bring famous works of art to the region, to educate and enlighten Trevisans and bring a little more culture into the city. It seems to be working. The museum has over 500 visitors daily. The art exhibits change every 6 months, and the current display is called L'Oro ed l'Azzurro, Blue and Gold, The Colors of the South by Cézanne to Bernard. The paintings are on loan from museums all over the world and are mostly modern and impressionist paintings by artists like Cézanne, Matisse, Renoir, and Van Gogh. Students pour into the gallery to learn the different techniques and strategies used by the artists and interesting facts about them and their paintings. For example, this popular painting of Van Gogh's bedroom actually contains a self-portrait. Headsets in Italian and English are available to those who'd like to tour the gallery at their own pace. You may notice one of the reoccurring themes throughout the city is art. Many artists flock to the city inspired by her beauty and quiet charm. As a result, artwork and displays are quite literally around every corner. In fact, some of the art you'll find throughout the city dates back to the 13th century, like here in the Loggia dei Cavalieri, or Knight's Lodge. This covered square was originally a meeting place for noblemen and where they gathered to play chess. Today, it's sometimes used as a small marketplace, but you can still admire the frescoes painted here over 700 years ago. From here, the heart and exact center of Treviso is only a few hundred meters away in the Piazza dei Signori. Truly the town's social center, Trevisans of all ages meet and gossip in many of its cafes and under some impressive public buildings, one of which is the pseudo-Romanesque Palazzo della Prefettura, built in 1877 after the original 13th century palazzo was destroyed. The tower was miraculously saved and now houses the Campagnon, the great bell of Treviso. The Piazza dei Signori is right on the Calmaggiore, the main road in Treviso, which dates back to Roman times, but is now the shopping street in the city. The stores that you may notice dominating the shopping scene here in Treviso is Benetton, and there's good reason for that. The company is headquartered just outside the city. The restored villa of an old Venetian family now serves as administrative offices for the corporation. The compound stretches out to include more modern structures that house the office space needed to run a corporation of more than 50,000 employees. The Benetton Group has 5,000 stores in 120 countries around the world and was started in 1965 by the Benetton family, 3 brothers and a sister.
Miss Juliana Benetton, the sister of Luciano Benetton, the president and co-founder of the company, made a yellow pullover for his brother, knitting a pullover for his brother. And basically, a lot of friends of Mr. Luciano, when they saw the pullover, said, "Oh, that's very nice. Where did you bought it?" And he thought that maybe his sister could do other pullover and he could sell to the friends.
Today, the company has expanded to include Sisley, the Hip Site, Playlife, and Killer Lou. To provide so many stores with clothes, you'd think the distribution center would be enormous. And you'd be right. The factory covers a huge plot of land and is one of the most advanced clothing manufacturing complexes in the world. The systems are completely automated. Each line is sorted by size, style, and quantity. Over 140,000 pieces of clothing are packed and sorted every day and then sent to the distributing machines. The coded boxes are sorted by destination. Once sent down the chute and endless conveyor belts, the giant robotic arms sort the boxes again and put them away to await the next shipment. Over 40,000 boxes are sorted every day, and the entire system is operated by only 6 men. From here, the clothes are sent directly to stores worldwide.
Quality is the main issue in Benetton products. So quality, style, and the quality of fabric, the quality of the details, the quality of the color. So quality is in a certain sense the fil rouge that is touching all the elements that are embedded inside the Benetton brand.
Bottom line, Benetton makes over 100 million pieces of clothing and generates a total turnover of 2 billion euros in retail sales a year. But Benetton's success not only lies in their clothing. The company has many outside ventures. One in particular is Fabrica. Fabrica is Benetton's communication center, started only 10 years ago. Young adults from all over the world under the age of 25 apply to work in Fabrica. And if they're chosen, Benetton offers these young artists and researchers a one-year grant to work in Fabrica to be on the cutting edge of creativity in virtually every artistic field. The idea is to always have a fresh, young, and diverse cultural outlook on every project.
Benetton has been able to speak to a wider audience and a new way to do communication, to do advertising, to make advertising not related to the product, but related to ideas.
The most surprising group you'll find here are the musicians. I was quite shocked to open the door to find an Irish group practicing for a concert, which will be simulcast in Turkey and Jerusalem, where the musicians there will play along with them at the end of April. If you think Benetton's international creative think house is fascinating, we haven't even begun to scratch the surface. The company also owns Autogrill, 30% of the entire Italian autostrada and 17% of Italian telecom. All told, the corporation's other business ventures net them a grand total of 7 billion euros a year. Not bad considering they started out with one little yellow sweater. A short walk from the center of Treviso lies one of the more unique restaurants in the city. For those of you looking for great local food and a place to stay, the La Colonna is one of many fantastic solutions. From the outside, the La Colonna may look like two different restaurants. It's actually a wine bar, a formal dining room, and a bed and breakfast housed in a restored 16th century building on the Sile River. The wine bar offers patrons a relaxed and cozy place to enjoy a glass of wine and great Italian fare. Those looking for more formality can head into its formal dining room, which houses the La Colonna, a 500-year-old column that lends its name to the restaurant. The restaurant specializes in local traditional food like this risotto radicchio. First, the rice is toasted in olive oil. Once it's slightly browned, red wine is added. Stir until the wine evaporates, then add hot chicken broth and continue to stir. While the rice is simmering, boil the radicchio in wine, water, and onions until almost mushy. Then add to the rice and stir for about 18 minutes, continuing to add broth as needed. Once the rice is soft, add butter and Parmesan cheese and stir for another 12 minutes until the risotto is thick. Total cooking time is about 30 minutes. And while we're waiting for the radicchio to cook, let's take a look at this rare and unique vegetable. Radicchio trevigiano is only grown here in Treviso and is a delicacy throughout the rest of Italy. It's harvested in October and put into cages to soak in giant vats of running water, kept at a constant temperature of 56 degrees Fahrenheit. The vats are in dark greenhouses to prevent the sun from turning the radicchio green. The plants stay in the water for about 20 days, allowing the roots to continue to grow. This process not only allows the vegetables to retain their beautiful colors of red and white, but makes them sweeter, unlike chicory, their bitter cousins. The plants are then taken out of the cages, shucked, cut, and market ready. Over 60% of the vegetable is lost during this process, and only 5 or 6 roots can be replanted out of every 160 pounds of radicchio.
The product's guaranteed by IGP, who control the product with strict guidelines and monthly inspectors. It's the best quality of radicchio.
The average farm produces around 400 pounds of radicchio per acre, but can only be planted 2 or 3 years in a row before farmers have to plant a different vegetable in its place because of radicchio's vulnerability to crop diseases. Because of that, the average cost of radicchio is around $5 a pound. In the southern regions of Italy, you can pay up to double that price. The other reason for its high cost is the high percentage of manual labor involved and the amount of time it takes to grow and cultivate.
Well, now that it's done, it's time to see how it tastes. This is absolutely delicious, and it actually is kind of sweet. But if you've got a hankering for something really sweet, then I've got just the dessert for you. This famous Italian dessert is known throughout the world and was invented right here in Treviso, tiramisu.
Found in bakeries and restaurants throughout the region, tiramisu is actually easy to make. All you need to get started is eggs, sugar, mascarpone cheese, coffee, biscuits, and some cocoa powder. First, start with 2 eggs and about a cup of sugar and whisk together. Next, add about 3/4 of a cup of mascarpone cheese and whisk until thick. This forms your cream base. Then take the coffee biscuits and soak in the coffee. Lay the biscuits in your bowl and pour the cream over the top. Put all of this in the fridge for about half an hour. Once you pull it out of the fridge, sprinkle cocoa powder over the top and serve.
Okay, this isn't helping my diet at all, but it is delicious. And of course, after you've stuffed yourself on all of this food, you may feel like you just want to lay down and digest it all. Well, luckily, La Colonna has a solution for that too. Let's go check it out. The La Colonna is only one of many charming retreats in the city, and an average night's stay in Treviso will cost you around €60. My advice is to take a quick shower, throw on some evening wear, and go check out Treviso at night. This is a great city to walk around in the evening and has a fantastic nightlife. So I'm just going to go pop in the shower and get ready, and then we'll go hit the town. There are literally wine bars on every block, ranging from festive to a mom-and-pop hole-in-the-wall where the sign says it all. But one of the hottest spots in town is Al Canavon. Open for 30 years, it's the watering hole of choice in Treviso for all ages, but more frequently occupied by the 30-something crowd. The wine bar also offers local specialties in large portions. Soothed by effervescent lounge music, patrons come to relax and enjoy the food and wine that surrounds them. It's also a place where old meets new. Old, warm wood beam ceilings peer down on modern art, some painted by the staff themselves. If the wine bar scene is just a little too tame for you and you're looking for a place with a little bit more energy, only one place comes to mind. It's a nightclub where people from all over the region flock to. This is Odisea, one of the largest dance clubs in the region. It boasts an average of 4,000 people a night on the weekends, and with 7 very different rooms, it's not hard to see why. There is something here for everyone. The largest room has a live band for formal ballroom dancing. There's an 80s music room, always packed. And upstairs is Little Miami for salsa dancers. From there, you can pass by one of the many theme bars to look down onto the main dance floor, where top DJs spin the latest club beats. The main floor leads to an R&B room and quieter bars and lounges. The club usually opens around 11 p.m., closes at 5 a.m., and there is a cover charge of €10. If you're wondering how to get to Treviso, the easiest answer is flying. Treviso does have an international airport, which is fairly easy to get to, but easy to miss. Did you see it? Well, neither did I the first time that I came here. Let's take a look at that again.
There we go. The airport is tiny and not well marked on the outside because of the construction to build a new airport here and can easily be mistaken for an office building. However, once inside, the Treviso Airport is a treasure for discount travel hunters. With airlines like Ryanair and Germanwing here, travelers can hop to destinations like Frankfurt, Barcelona, and London for as little as €30 round trip, including tax. Its close proximity to Venice makes it an ideal hopping point for travelers in and out of the region. But if you're coming here to purchase tickets, beware that no cash is accepted. To travel, you must have a passport. Military IDs are not accepted, and parking is lacking for those looking to leave their vehicles here long term.
As you've seen, Treviso is easy to get to and can easily be explored in one day. The streets inside the city are a little maze-like and a little difficult to navigate, so it's recommended that you pick up a free map at the Tourist Information Office in the center of town behind the Piazza di Signori. Well, that's all the time that we have for the show. I hope you've enjoyed our journey through the city. If you have a story idea for destinations, you can email us at destinations@afn.frankfurt.army.mil or visit our website at www.afneurope.net. Be sure to tune into the show every Thursday night at 6 p.m. and again on Sunday at 11 a.m. only on AFN Atlantic. We'll see you again next week. Thanks for watching.